Parapsychology Today, a program of investigation into the realms of the unknown. Suspend your mind for a moment and journey to a world beyond the five senses. Parapsychology Today is a program exploring ideas, theories, and concepts that have been around since ancient times. We'll journey to outer worlds and inner worlds. We'll look into such phenomena as past lives, UFOs, and hauntings. And we'll explore psychic ability as it relates to human potential. We do not intend to prove or persuade, but rather present theories and personal stories of ventures into the world of parapsychology. Whatever your beliefs, we hope this program will start you thinking about a reality beyond the five senses.
Hi, welcome to another edition of Parapsychology Today. I'm really excited about today's topic. It's called Create Your Own Reality. And who doesn't want to create their own reality? And my guest today is Patt Sendejas. I'm always having trouble with your name, Patt Sendejas. And Patt is a certified, many things, but for this show, she's a certified infinite possibilities trainer. Patt, what is a certified, I never heard of that before, infinite possibilities trainer? What is that?
It helps people understand that there are infinite possibilities to every choice they have, and their thoughts become things.
Thoughts create things. I've heard that many times. And what does that mean?
That you constantly, what you're thinking is appearing. It's attracted to you. So it's not about you going out and saying, I have this thought, I have to figure out how to make it happen. It's your thought attracts that to you based on your vibration, your energy, your joy about it. Staying in joy is...
Can you explain how you've worked with that, how that's happened to you?
Oh my gosh. Yes, it started probably about maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And I was studying this and I decided to test the theory. So I went outside.
Test the theory of thoughts become things?
Correct. Yes, that's so perfect. And so I went outside in my garden, knowing that I needed to feel relaxed when I'm doing this and feel really good about it. And I got a paper and pen and I started writing and I said, what would bring me joy? And I said, weddings. Oh, I love weddings. You know, when people are so happy to see each other and the bride and groom are so in love and there's such beautiful, they'll be outdoors in a garden or they'll be indoors with a sit-down wedding or they'll have music and dancing. So I just really got really excited about journaling about what I wanted. And it's about the feeling. That's how you're creating your own reality. Not an affirmation. It's about how joyful that feeling is for what you're doing. So it went about a couple weeks later, I get an invitation to a bridal shower. I went, oh, a wedding. Now, mind you, I knew no one who was getting married. And I got this invitation and I went, wow, this is great. So I went to the bridal shower and then the wedding was, this was like I was journaling like in September or the beginning of September, and October 1st was the wedding. It was an outdoor country club that the wedding was. And the bride and groom got married outdoors. It was hors d'oeuvres before. We went inside, sit down dinner, music, everything I'd asked for. So my mom had called me maybe a couple weeks before the wedding and she said, I got an invitation to a wedding. Can you drive me? And I went, probably, when is it? And she said, October 1st. And I went, oh, what time? And she said, noon. I went, oh, I have a wedding at 5, but where is it? It's on the harbor. We're going to cruise the harbor with the bride and groom being married on the bow of the ship. And there was music, and the family was all there on the ship.
So you went with your mom then?
I did. I took my mother. It was a neighbor that we had years ago that remarried. Mm-hmm. And so I hadn't seen this woman in years. So just came in. And so put her on the ship. We got on about noon, and we got off at 3. I drove dropped her off and drove to the next wedding.
2 weddings in one day.
Yes, but
another one
come in 3s. So I was going to have fun meeting my good friend from Hawaii. She was working in Hawaii at the time, and we were going to meet in Las Vegas. We were going to fly there each, separately, and meet for a spa day for this friend that I've known for years. And she said to me, well, I'm so glad you're coming. I mentioned to the woman at the office who's getting married that you'll be in Las Vegas. And she said, she's getting married there. That's one of the reasons I'm flying there, to meet you. And she said, the woman said, have her come to the wedding. It was a beautiful wedding, dancing, music, food. The bride didn't know me, but I just really enjoyed 3 weddings in 1 week.
And when you said you you journaled about what you wanted,
Yes.
is that kind of, I mean, can you write affirmations and then have the feeling to work together?
Yes, and the one thing is when you write, it creates so much more. It connects more with your hand and your actual writing, so it makes it more possible.
What about being grateful for what you're getting? Does that help?
Oh my gosh, I do that
I have a grateful
constantly.
journal.
Yeah, I actually say it to the universe daily. Like this morning, I was mentioning to you that a synchronicity happened, and I said, thank you, God. I came here, and here was a parking place. Thank you, God.
Really?
Thank you, universe. I often
So you're
say
grateful.
that.
You're grateful.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And it's not just writing it one time a day. It's living it.
So everybody's living a different reality. Now, I've asked you what a reality is, but if you don't have to answer that, that's hard to answer, isn't it? What is a reality?
Well, everyone's reality is a little bit different, because before they come in, they actually, and this is part of the Infinite Possibilities training I got, that we actually have different contracts that we decide before we come to Earth, and we look and we go, oh, I would like to be with that mom, and look, I'd really like to have that sister. And so before we were born, we put out kind of these intentions, and then we come in and we live those intentions. They unfold. They just put us in the best places to live that experience that we want.
Well, what if we decide we don't like what we had intended and we want to intend different things? Can we do that?
We can always choose again, and constantly you're wanting to connect with the universe and God or whoever your higher power is, because it's your inner wisdom. But really, basically, before you come in, you're actually working to evolve. And I was studying feng shui, as we talked about previously, and I got lost going to one of the Saturday workshops, and I got out of the car and I said, okay, God, what do you want me to do? And I got teach love. Now, when the universe talks to you, it's very short. It's not long sentences. It's just 2 or 3 words.
And it comes into your brain.
Yes,
into your
it comes
thoughts.
into your brain.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, how do you do that? Well, it's taken me a few years to realize it's by example. You can't teach somebody something. You have to let them experience their own experience, and you need to be in that vibration that you want to teach. And we teach what we need to learn, right? So, yep, I've been learning that one.
Now, do our beliefs, especially negative ones, influence and create our reality?
Totally. Because the universe doesn't see good, bad, negative. And you've probably heard about that ancient story, which was so cool. This man had a son, and he got a horse, and this was a great, beautiful stallion. And the next door neighbor said, whoa, what a beautiful horse. You're so fortunate. And he said, it just is. And then his son was riding the horse and fell off and broke his leg. And the neighbor said, oh, that's too bad. And he said, no, it just is. And then the army came to town to take able-bodied young men. His son couldn't go because he had a broken leg.
So it was good.
And the neighbor said, that's good. And so he said, it just is. Because it's our perspective we label on things that make it what it is. So that's our reality. It's pretty cool, huh?
Interesting, yeah. So where do the beliefs come from, and how can we change them if they're especially negative?
Oh, I learned that when I was studying Infinite Possibilities training, because we go really deep, and that's part of our training, is if you're driving down the street and you see like a 16-year-old driving a, very expensive Maserati, you think in your mind, you might think, wow, he's a real spoiled kid. You don't know he is, but how are you going to ever have a Maserati if you think that somebody driving it's spoiled?
Yeah.
So it's our perspective we put on and label things.
Yeah.
When we really don't know, we make assumptions a lot. But that's how we form our reality.
Now we have clutter in the home. Do we also have sometimes clutter in our minds? And how does that affect us and how can we get rid of it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I spent years training my brain to think more positively. And what I would do, the lesson that I can teach people is when you have a negative thought that pops into your brain, I would picture a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
I'd catch myself. And then I would immediately think of something joyful. And for me, it
What do
was...
you mean you picture a stop sign?
Well, I'm very visual because
Uh-huh.
I'm interior design.
Right.
So I can picture
Oh,
things.
stop your thoughts, you mean?
Well, yeah, I picture
Oh.
that there's a stop sign right here in my face, making me stop what I'm thinking of.
I see what you're saying now.
Thank you for clarifying that. And so I immediately replaced it with a previous thought that I came up with so that I could catch it quickly, because you can't sit there and think, well, what's going to really make me happy? So I would think of Disneyland and my family and how much joy we would have when the whole family would get together and go to Disneyland. And so I would take the vibration that was very negative and raise it, because it's a vibration that you go from anger to keep raising your vibration until you can get to joy and love, which is the ultimate vibration. And people talk about music being healing because of the vibration of certain
Oh yeah,
music.
I'm very attracted to certain music.
Yeah.
I'll walk out of a store if they're playing this loud stuff I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
I'll walk right out.
Yep.
And yeah. And
More and more people are becoming sensitive to
I'm very
those.
sensitive to music
Yeah.
because I was a performer at one time, and I love Gershwin music. Gershwin's my favorite, and I love all that old-fashioned music.
Oh, that's
Broadway, big band sounds. Yeah, so I'm really affected by music. I know that.
Mhm.
Let's see. Do you know anyone who changed their reality by changing their thoughts? And if so, can you explain how they made their life better?
Constantly.
Yeah.
It's like, where can I go to think of that? Well, I'll give you an example from my book, Letting Go.
Oh yeah, let me hold that up too.
Yeah,
Now,
that
this-
was pretty interesting.
I don't know if the camera can catch. I'm not very good at. Oh, there you go. Letting
Thanks.
go. You wrote this, Pat, huh?
I did. And so what I wrote in that book was that I experienced, I had tickets to a convention that I wanted my nephew to go to. And my nephew kept saying, yeah, I'm going to go, Pat. I'm going to go. And I bought the tickets, and it's getting closer to the convention time. And finally I said, I need to let go. And that's the key to manifesting, is not be attached, not try to make it happen.
Letting go. I gotta
Not
write that
figure it
down.
out.
Letting go.
Letting go. And so what I did was I asked the universe, because I like to talk to the universe, asking questions. And asking questions and then waiting for the answer puts you on a path of synchronicities. So I said, how can I let go of this? I really want him to come. And I email those tickets to everybody in your organization and tell them you have the tickets available and see who comes up.
Oh, that's a
That
great
was
idea.
letting go. And I didn't come up with that. That was the universe. I mean, it's just asking the question and it comes in. It happens to me a lot. And that's how people can connect with the universe and then watch for the synchronicities. And so 20 minutes
What are
later.
synchronicities? Things that happen.
Yeah, it's something that's no accident. It just falls in place.
Falls in place.
Yeah, after
Yeah.
you've asked for something, it comes in. That's a synchronicity.
Well, I've noticed some people will put themselves down and go, you stupid old.
Oh, that's not good.
No, I know
Because your
somebody.
body heals itself naturally. And your body is listening to every single thing you say. And there's a great book that someone recently, gave me. It's called The Power of the Soul.
Oh,
It's really good. And
tell
it's
us about
how
the soul is your spirit.
whole body, yes.
Your
Your
spirit,
soul
your
is
energy.
your spirit. Yep, it's the divine energy within all of us, because we're created by the Creator, and we have the same divine energy.
So,
So
synchronicities.
what happened was my nephew
Yeah.
emailed me 20 minutes after I sent that and said, Aunt Pat, I want that.
Okay.
I will send you a check. I want to go to that convention with you.
Okay. 'Cause you
That's
put it
how
out.
it works.
Did he know you put it out there to
Well,
other
he
people?
received the email that I sent to everyone.
Oh, I see. So noticed you
I
sent
let
it.
go.
Yeah, you let go.
And
Okay.
I wanted him to know I let go.
Mhm.
And that's so important for people to understand. If you love someone, you can't smother them. You need to just allow them to come
Yes.
to you, because it's always perfect.
Do the suppressed negative thoughts and feelings that we have for ourselves, does that keep us in a 3D, a 3 dimension?
Not necessarily,
Okay.
because so many spiritual people have said, oh, you can't be negative. Well, you have to feel what's in your heart
Yeah.
in order to love and to evolve. So, but you want to shift that as quick as possible.
Mm.
It's kind of a feeling that you get and you realize, oh, that didn't make me feel good. And then maybe you can explore it. Why? What's going on? Did that
Could you
happen
give an
when I was
example?
a child? Maybe, I'm trying to think,
Somebody hurt you?
someone talks behind your back
Yeah.
and you get really upset. Well, you can't control what people say behind your back. So, but maybe if you think about it, it went all the way back to 3rd grade when a whole group of people were talking behind your back.
And you can change how you feel about it. You can say, oh, well.
Yes, you can say, well,
I
she had
forgive
a
them.
bad day.
Or I forgive them.
Of course, that's
Yeah.
really good, because they're just doing the best they can. Everyone is doing the best they can. And so when we start understanding that it's not about us, it's about their life experiences and what they're drawing to what they say and do, you really let people off the hook a little.
Now, you've said that love heals and your environment is a reflection of that. Love heals and the
It
environment.
is.
How can you explain that?
I've had people walk in and say, oh, it's like pristine in here. Well, when I moved from a 5,000 square foot house to a condo, like 1,100 square feet, I was there a year and I wanted to have it painted and new carpet. So I took everything out of it, put it in a moving van while I was still living there, and then asked the landlord to recarpet and repaint, and then put everything back in that I wanted to keep, letting go of the things I didn't want or wasn't using anymore. And people would walk in and go, whoa, it feels so good. That's because everything was refreshed.
Nice.
And refreshing things really helps, like cleaning out your drawers, your car. That's a tricky one for me because I have an Akbash that can shed in my car.
You have
so
a
I have
what?
to vacuum. It's like a Great Pyrenees or a large
Oh,
golden
your dog can shed in your car.
Yeah, and so you have to just make sure that you keep everything clean and, no clutter on the stairs. That, can trip people if you've got books
Right.
that are stacked up
So you
waiting
don't want
to
that
go
in your
upstairs.
head either.
Yeah, in your mind. I talk about the mind a lot on how you can manifest by changing your thoughts.
Yes, manifest by changing. Give us an example.
Uh,
I'm sorry, putting you on the spot. Manifest
no,
by
I
changing
think
your thoughts.
I think
Did we go for that?
with the Disneyland,
Yeah.
when I said that if I have a negative thought and I think about that, sometimes I'll be in the shower and I'll go, oh, when I was working on training myself to stop those negative thoughts and flip them, I would be very aware. And that's what people aren't aware, that they're thinking these things.
They're thinking them, they're making them happen.
Yes.
They'll manifest.
Yes, and
Oh,
you
boy.
need to be an observer. You just need to observe what you're doing as if you're outside of your body watching what you're choosing.
So at night, sometimes I don't always have time, but I'll write in my grateful journal. So that's a good
That's
way.
wonderful.
That's a good way to manifest.
It's really wonderful.
I'm grateful for this, this, and this.
And saying thank you at the end of the day and finding 5 things that you went through the day and you were grateful for reinforces that prayer for gratefulness.
Well, I have this thing called the Clear Sonic, and you put it on your face. My daughter got it for me, and it wasn't working for a while, and then now it's working, and I kiss it and say thank you, and every day it works.
Yeah,
It's an inanimate object, it's just a piece of machinery, but I thank it all the time.
It's part
It's
of
working.
energy. It's
Yeah.
got energy to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So I like this about creating your own reality. So
I do too. It's just
a
so
guide
much
to
fun.
personal freedom. So tell us a little bit about your book, Letting Go, Create a Magical Life. I like that.
At the end of each chapter, I give little hints on ways to let go, because right now people are they're really challenged on things
Oh, yeah.
changing so fast, and the energy's not going to stop. It's going to keep changing,
Yeah.
and there's so much new technology coming out, and it's hard for people to just go with the flow, and you have to, because if you resist it, you can cause health problems, you can cause all kinds of relationship issues. You need to just say, is this really that important on the scale of things? Is it really?
Yeah, yeah. I can feel, like when we want to talk about energy, I feel the energy of the world. It just feels so heavy right now. I feel like I'm in, I don't know, like I'm in the
It's
twilight. I
supposed
feel
to
like
happen this way.
I feel like I'm in the twilight zone sometimes.
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah. Well, it's the only way we're going to get to a planet of love and humanitarian. We just entered the age of Aquarius. That's humanitarian. So how are we going to get there?
You think we are evolving? You think humanity
I think
is
we're
evolving?
totally evolving. And I think all of this is causing great pain for people to open their hearts.
Really?
Yeah, I did a radio show years ago, and I had the grief counselor from CNN talk about 9/11. And he said people weren't necessarily grieving for people who passed in the building. They were grieving for people they hadn't grieved for originally, like their mothers or
I see
a
what you mean,
child
yeah.
they lost. It brought up those feelings to be cleared and to be replaced with love. And so that's what's happening now. And so we don't want to resist. We want to know that it's happening to help us all become more loving. And I used to say, well, what's the best thing I can do to demonstrate love in this situation? Because
Yeah,
there's
that's a
usually
good
never
idea.
an accident.
Yeah. I know when I'm out and about, people are really nice and very kind. I hold the door open, you think I gave them $1 million. They're just holding the door, and they thank me, say have a good day or
Yep.
have a good workout.
It's a
Feels
sign
good.
of your vibration.
It feels good to be nice to people, and
Yeah.
they're nice back to you.
But you're not doing it because of
No, I didn't.
just, it's who you are. It's your vibration. And everything that comes to people, they've attracted.
But the thing that I'm working on, I make judgments about people. I'll see people and think, oh, you're stupid. And I don't want to do that anymore.
It is hard. It is hard. Yeah.
Well, if I
Because
see
that's the
them-
way
yeah.
we learned as we were growing up. It was just normal to judge different people to protect us.
Yeah.
We don't need that protection. God, the universe, our divine higher wisdom protects us.
Yes.
When people start feeling what they feel, they won't choose to go down that street. They'll choose to go down a different
They
street.
will realize that we're really powerful
We
spiritual
are.
beings.
Oh my gosh, we're so powerful.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are. We don't
And-
realize that.
Yeah, and that's why we're creating infinite possibilities.
Infinite possibilities. I love that.
I do too.
I knew a
yeah.
gal who started a show called Infinite Possibilities.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
So what are infinite possibilities? Infinite means there's no-
Unlimited.
unlimited.
And
Possibilities.
and people who study God and they know that the Creator is infinite, and we don't know exactly if it's the divine power, if it's all energy. Everybody believes differently, but we do all agree that it's infinite.
And love feels better than hate, doesn't it?
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah. It pulls us into such a lower vibration.
So you think that we are learning to love each other because
Yeah.
you keep hearing people say we're all connected.
We are. We are. That's why when you think of something, you attract them to call you. Why would that be?
Yeah,
Because
that's
we're
true.
connected.
I never thought of that because
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
times I'll think about somebody, they'll call me,
Oh,
especially my
that's
daughter.
happening more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and you
It
can start
is.
asking for things you want. It was so funny. I
You can
had
ask
a
for things you
client-
want without feeling guilty about it, without feeling greedy or.
Well, you're letting go.
Uh-huh.
So you definitely want to ask for things you want because the universe wants to gift you. You're here to experience, and the universe gets to experience with you. So here I was at a client, and she's a hairdresser, and she wanted me to come do an energy read on her house, and she asked her husband for me as a gift for her Christmas.
Oh,
It
right.
was so cool. And so a couple days later, my hairdresser could not get in to see me, and she said, I'm sorry, I'm just too sick to see clients. And I was going out of town, and I was in the shower, and I said, what do I do? Who do I go to?
they want hair
Women
done.
love their hairdressers.
Yes,
They get very
yes.
attached to them. And so what I got, the answer I got when I said, what shall I do, is call your client. She's a hairdresser. You met with her a
Oh.
couple days ago. And I went, oh, she is. And I called her and she said, oh, come on in tomorrow. And we've become really best friends. She's just
Interesting.
very special.
So what happened
But-
to your other hairdresser?
It just was an unfoldment. It was a
Yeah.
flow. It was the perfect timing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. I like that. Perfect
yeah,
timing.
It's always perfect timing if we don't try to control it.
Yeah, I was going to say, a
Yeah.
lot of people are waiting for things to change, and they say it's all in God's timing, and you sometimes get tired of it's all in God's timing.
Things,
You want it to
people
happen
get
now.
very impatient. And I used to say, I'm so impatient. And I realized I have to stop saying that. I
Uh-huh.
used to say, I have no time. Oh my gosh. I said, what are you saying, Pat? You're creating that.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah.
so I started every day saying I have more than enough time. And one night I was sitting in the living room and I went, oh, gee, I have so much time. What do I do? Shall I read a book? What do I? Yeah, so we're creating exactly what we say.
So we got to really be careful what we say, what we feel, and what we think, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And what you
very
feel.
much.
So when you want to, like The Secret, it just said, say affirmations, but left out the feeling. You've got to get
Totally.
But
Yeah.
when you say your affirmations and you feel it, for
That's
example,
it.
can you give us a good example of something that you've said and felt, and well, you've said a lot, but something that really stands out in your memory?
That help people. This one affected me really greatly. It drives it home really well. We had an Indian tribe that was in the Southwest,
Mhm.
and there was such drought in the U.S. several years ago,
Mhm.
and they decided that they would create rain.
Oh,
And they went out into the dry desert and stood there. And a person that was observing this figured they'd do a rain dance or something. They didn't. They just dug their feet into the soil and visualized mud and rain coming down and thanking the universe for all the rain. It started raining and it wouldn't stop. It was like one of the biggest torrential rains in the south of the U.S. Yeah, so it's the emotion, because in the word emotion is motion.
Oh,
so
emotion.
You need to feel
Emotion.
and
I
put
never thought of that.
motion into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, when you're telling the story, you said Indians. I think of indigenous people who are close to the earth. They make things happen better, like the
They do.
Aborigines of Australia.
Yeah.
A friend of mine went there and worked with them, and her husband was cured of some polio or some,
Oh, yeah.
because he,
They connect with the nature, the
With
natural
nature.
part of the earth.
yeah.
that has healing powers. It's created by the
Right.
divine creation. But what's very interesting is
It makes you feel good to go into nature, doesn't it?
it does. It does. And people need to. In fact, I read on a brochure in California, on the Southern California Edison years ago, they said exit the building as much as you can on breaks to be healthy.
You have to go outside and
Because of the lights and the
The light,
electricity,
yeah.
the man-made.
right. You want to be in you
electrical
want to be in the nature's light.
Yes.
Yeah, I like to go
Yeah.
outside. I love being outside, especially with my plants and flowers. I just love being outside.
Yeah, it's just really
Mhm.
healing. It's
Mhm.
really recommended for people.
Well, this is a great topic. I just love create your own reality. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we say goodbye?
Patience. It's really important not to judge how long it's going to take. And if it doesn't show up in the time that you've asked for it, you want to just let it go.
Let it go.
And figure out ways you can let it go, because
Mhm.
there's different ways that you can do things, and if you're in question, always ask and
Mhm.
then wait for the answer, because in the silence, and more people are being put into silence right now, so that they are forced to go within.
How do you mean more people forced into silence?
Well, it's like I go to my hairdresser. I have a fellow who I've been going to recently, and
Yeah.
and he said, the whole salon's empty. You cleared the space again. I go, I'm not doing this. Obviously, I must be. But it's like
You wanna
going
be
to a
alone with it?
restaurant.
Yeah.
We were traveling, and we went to a restaurant, and I said, we can just go sit in the bar. There's a table there. The waitress goes, no problem. So she actually took the other couple next to me and seated them in the bar at the table in there. And then she said, come with me. She went through a busy restaurant, went all the way to the back room where there was a fireplace and no one was there, and seated us. And I
Wow.
went, I had to take a picture of the restaurant because I'm
Well,
going,
how'd
what?
that happen? Did you put out a feeling that you wanted to be in a nice place, or?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but
Oh.
I think the universe wanted me to go within more and really be centered in who I am. It's happening to a lot of people now. There's all kinds of energies that are happening and they can't explain it. It's just, you want to trust.
Yeah, I know. I kind of feel the energy, but I don't know. It doesn't make me feel good right now.
It's
I don't know what
kind
it
of
is.
unsettling because
Okay.
it's different.
Okay.
And it's the new way of living, to just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And allow things
Go with
to
the flow.
happen.
Yet we're bombarded by so many things, you know.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat.
Oh, thank you.
great.
It's been just a pleasure.
I just-
Pauline, I've enjoyed talking to you over the past year that I've met you, and it's just been.
Synchronistic.
Yep, and
Synchronistic.
this town of
McMinnville.
McMinnville is very special.
Yeah, we're Minville Media right now, MCM TV.
It's
Yeah,
great.
it's a great
Hey.
place. McMinnville is a great place, yes. So I want to thank you again, and I'll thank our audience in just a minute. Thank you very much for watching another edition of Parapsychology Today. We hope to see you again soon. And Pat's information will be on the credits, as well as if you want to get in touch with us, we'll have our email. You can get a hold of us by email. Thanks again. See you again soon, we hope. Bye-bye.